All right. Hello and welcome on back to Joker Tower Season 2. Things are popping off, and we're going to talk about it. So, also, look at this. It's so beautiful. You got like leaves falling, you got rain, you got shadows, you got shading, oh, different light sources, like very and then hazy, like the water. Okay, sorry. I just still can't get over how this game keeps getting more awesome. And it was cool just to begin with, and it's kind of depressing seeing like older versions. Um, like once you've seen behind the curtain. But I say that but there's a lot of people that like the more retro games, kind of like get back to enjoying the happiness that they felt when they first gamed with that game. So that nostalgia for sure. In fact, I worked with a guy who had all of them. I think he used to say he had like the Super Nintendo, regular Nintendo, Sega, even the Dreamcast, which was a much lesser known, but still pretty neat looking gaming system. I mean, I don't know, like I had the regular Nintendo, and I lived nearby somebody that had like fancy gadgets that I had never even heard of. So like as far as talking, looking behind the curtain that way, that was interesting. Like I saw a different perspective of like how the other half lived growing up. Like not quite the Prince and the Pauper, but at the same time, yeah, kind of that idea. Um, I don't know. But I mean, we stayed friends for a while, and like we were really into Magic the Gathering and all that. But anyways, that's a lot of personal stuff there. But perspectives and stuff. And I was just watching one of my other buddies talk about the goings ons of the war or the world right now, the current. In fact, let's go mine in the new place while we talk about this. But anyways, like some serious stuff going on right now, and I remember. So let's back up a little bit. This particular buddy is a more religious person. He's very knowledgeable about the Bible and like he studies it a lot and he spends a lot of time discussing it with other people and kind of like and so like I say that because we shouldn't discount what he says based on that. Like he's very well in depth with that. It's just, I guess the interpretation of the Bible as a whole, kind of feel like it's a test to see if like which ones. That even sounds bad. Like which parts are paid more attention to, and like I feel like it's going to come down to a numbers game. If in fact like this is all really how it was. I mean, I guess that's why it's so awkward to think. Like, so if like the Bible is real, if the ancient, the way I see it, the most likely, in my opinion, from everything. Oh, that's not even beginning to. The water's a little weird. It's harder to see, but oh, and then that went all the way down. Yeah. So, anyways, wait, and I did make one. Let's go back up here. So I want to just mindlessly mine for a while. And I made one very long way that way. And then this way, it already, like, that's as far as it goes. And then it breaks out. So if we go this way, let's go down a little ways. Do that. So, anyways, and I did the whole playlist of the two taboos, like discussing religion, what I understood from Christianity growing up, Methodist, um, and then having Saudi roommates, Muslim roommates, and then just basically having our discussions and really living with them, getting to know them like and really well for multiple years, like getting really close. Uh, that's why I still feel really bad. I let him down. I let my brother down, but I agreed to something before I realized the full weight of it. I was like, ah. I mean, I told him basically his brother could stay with me for like 2 months, 3 months. I think it was 2 months, but still, it's just two months. Like, which would be great if I was still in college, but even then, like I don't know. Like and that was the other thing too. This was a college age kid, so I got to figure out some other way. And again, more personal stuff, but that's one of the projects I'm trying to work on is like how to get some temporary affordable housing for the purpose of more international students because I do believe it's important. I think we need more people coming to study here and seeing that we're not all crazy. Like we are definitely not all like, the world has seen us for decades. Um, And same with the world too. Like we have had a narrow view. I think everybody has, just from communication technology, which circles back to my favorite and least favorite class in my undergrad. I thought it was the least important, or one of the least important, because I did another one. It was web design versus web development, and it was another JTC class, which was journalism, more like less tech focused. And And that's fair too. Like just because someone is less tech does not mean that they're less smart. It's just that they spent less time with tech. That's all that really means to me is like the people that are good with tech are just really stubborn and like they already see like far a lot of like ADHD like people that plan like 5 steps ahead and like I keep hearing this term 5D chess and I feel like now it's just people like more and more people you could say they're on the spectrum to a point but at the same time not like I don't know it's like almost like we're evolving um really talk about some Bible verses like evolution and intelligent design but there's no reason that those can't be mutually correct like it's just a different perspective or a different way of saying it. I feel like a lot of that is because like I still think government should be based on morals and like the biggest picture and everybody making sure like the majority of the populace is secure versus like you know and I don't know and even saying that like the 1% could be thinking that they're on some grand mission for God and like honestly believing it but their perspective is like oh it must be done this way. I don't know. And what's really crazy is like crazy but might actually make a lot of sense is like I remember Trump's first term when he was running for president. When he became president, people were saying that he was going to bring about the end times. That's described in the Bible as like a giant explosion, and that's why it was neat seeing what my buddy posted because he basically explained it. He's like, so Persia is going to be destroyed with a ball of fire. Whoops! Oh, I didn't mean to do that, but that's okay. That was cool to see. But usually when I see a block of emeralds, I try to, and we'll see more because this is in the mountains, but hopefully, um, but basically, I'll go get my Silk Touch pickaxe and then save it as an ore block, and then just kind of more as a trophy because it's definitely worth more. I mean, look at that. We got three emeralds and some experience. Like that was the benefit from that transaction there. That wasn't a very smart thing to do. So, anyways, but no. So basically, that's what the Bible describes, and I've tried reading it multiple times. Like especially when I had some time to read recently. I was in a mental hospital, but I read a lot and I discussed this with other people on various levels of medication and just very interesting conversations. But all in analysis of the Bible and a grand spaceship, the second ark, and literally everything. Because we were in a bunch, I was around a bunch of people that were just exploring the depths of consciousness with again bunches of medications and probably a bunch of street medications before they get to that. Whoa. Oh yeah, we broke through to the other side. Break on through to the. I'm thinking about that. I think it's Tony Hawk or skateboarding. They do that. But anyways, we're gonna keep running into that because look how high up this is. So unless I dig my next tunnel, I don't know, like 20, 30 blocks deeper, and then I'm gonna run into the water, which we actually just saw the other way. So this is yeah, okay, okay. Or wait, should I? There, we'll taper it. Okay. So, anyways, I honestly think that makes it go faster. Let's see, like, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. See, I don't know. I don't know if it really does or not. And these torches aren't exactly even space. That's like based on my internal clock. Like, whenever I feel like it's been enough time pass, I throw a torch up. Been enough time pass, throw a torch up. It's probably not exact. It's most definitely not exact. Like, but it says a rhythm of attention spans, which, yeah. So, anyways, end times. We're gonna keep doing this. Oh wait, actually, should I? No, let's go further down, and then I want to say, see, even that. Let's go down to 0 and see if that punches out. Because I don't want to get into where I'm like mining a bunch of the black stuff, the deep slate stuff, because that takes longer. It's not the same. Let's do it right above, cut above the rest. So we'll leave one solid layer of stuff between that and there. So, huzzah! I'm trying to get more redstone too, because that's been lacking. I've just been trying to do some like redstone experiments, and jeez, and the railway. I guess I did finish that railway to Origin. So, but anyways, end times. Jeez, and yeah, the Bible says that there's going to be some kind of event that's like catastrophic and like happens in the promised land in Persia. And I don't know, but having seen the History Channel's Ancient Aliens and really like how convincing that is, that there's the potential for this perspective of the ancient astronaut theory, which is that God and Jesus and all the, the things that the holy books or the people that the holy books talk about really did exist, but they were astronauts. They were just people from other planets, other like think Star Trek, that happened upon a planet that was now habitable. I mean, and that actually does make the most sense out of everything. Although that is a little scary because if holy books are like 100% correct, but then it goes back to that ratios and percentages of concern, I guess. And I think that's where it's important because in the Bible, like the two places that people argue about homosexuality, because that's a big one. There's a lot of people that are gay or in between. I mean, a lot of people. So, and this, yeah. Wait, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't think I can do that now. Like, is it because I have a light source here? That might be it. Like, I was looking for that iron. See, I saw an iron. But then I can't. There's a glare, and then when you go underwater, it's like pitch black. Same with like this. It's gonna go away. It's gonna be murky. Oh man, no, that's not okay. Oh man, I can't even do that. What? Oh, no, see even that. Oh, is that because I'm swimming? I can't swim until I'm like immersed, and then when I'm swimming. Now I'm like stuck to where I'm swimming. Oh, but then that just broke it. Anyways, whatever. Let's just go. Didn't we go all the way down? So, anyways, I just remember hearing that the first time, and then to hear my other buddy talk about it, like from studying the Bible and just understanding that stuff. It's all human done, like and but at the same time, it does make sense, like how the Simpsons know what everything's gonna be, or like they can predict certain things. It could just be they saw. I've heard this a lot before. Saw into the Matrix and saw the patterns. Well, that's not even really all that far fetched because, oh man, we are gonna have to go deep. All right, no, that's fine. If we're gonna go deep, then let's go deep. So, I mean, actually, not too deep. Never mind. I say that because I just pick a random spot because we have a half full inventory, and I'm gonna end up. All right. But anyways, no, everything seems scripted and like, but at the same time, just like human behavior and understanding that it would just make sense that as civilizations rise and fall and different situations change, humans follow a basic like playbook, a script themselves, just based on their environment. Like once their needs are met, they're like, oh, then they're gonna start doing this way, and once this, and kind of like how the meek inherit the earth. Well, and actually that, ugh. So basically, I need to go back and delete a couple of posts and handle things more delicately, I think. Not saying that I believe in the end times. I mean, I definitely believe that there's a lot of people out there that are going to see this whole Iran thing as that. And then we're going to break into a new golden age. Ah, ah. And if that happens, well, I don't know. Because Trump's posting these things like trust in Trump. I do need to go back and correct one post I did. I said, well, you're defending a pedo, which, I mean, and I hate hearing people call other people that because that is a word that's reserved for people that are actually really dysfunctional and like doing that, being a predator for like those vulnerable. Although, as I say that, I just had a phone call with my daughter and I mean, playing it safe, me would have been like just hang up and then talk to his daughter later, but it was a teachable moment and like there's just a bunch of the neighbor kids like talking and like passing the phone around and they were trying to trick me into saying things. It was like spin the bottle and like, oh, do you love me, do you like have my eyes, and that is concerning, that is, but it's also not the first time that I've seen that happen, even just recently, where a kid is trying to figure it out and it's someone that they're safe around and then they try to do something. The other time was um well, uh, either way, I think that a lot of that could be accidental and to where like somebody didn't put their foot down and say, no, this is not okay, which I did the other time. Like, I mean, this kid was like trying to, that sounds all messed up too. Basically, it was just like thought that that was okay, and I told him no, that's not okay. And then we were done. It was completely done. So, but and I'm not even saying that as a free pass to a lot of the other people, but that's usually what the word is reserved for is people that would do that. these aren't aliens, so we got to figure out, like, I mean, a human with a given set of circumstances. And I did notice that, like, and that's what sucks because, like, I found out a lot of them play Magic the Gathering, and I love Magic the Gathering, so it's like I grew up loving that. I'm like, ah, man, it kind of ruined the game for me. Like, so, anyways, as far as fixing like crime in general, like that grandioso type thing, I think we are close to it. And I think legalizing adult work would actually correct a lot of that undesired behavior. It sounds messed up, but seriously, like if you, because I feel like that whole thing, and I didn't really mean to talk about that. I mean, we already talked about the end times and like, our country blowing people up and all this. I mean, why not? Humanity, right? But no, like, and trying to fix all crime in general, not just like, like drug addiction. Like, we're already figuring out like a lot of that was manufactured and accidental. Like, people are not evil. People can come back from drug use and drug addiction. In fact, I know a lot of great people that have. I wouldn't recommend it. I would just not do it in the first place, but not just no, just say no. Like, that was such a lazy and over painted. And actually, I really should get back to that other thing because the wrong people hear that, they're like, "Whoa, we better investigate this guy." But basically, it was a relative that was like trying to practice kissing, and like, and I could tell early on, I was like, she wanted to like go away from the other people, and she wanted to go watch a movie, and then like, I could just tell. I could feel like I knew what was going through her mind, and I headed it off. I was like, "Oh no, hey, that's not okay to do with family," and that's all I had to say. That's all I had to say. And it was lucky because I was already thinking that. I was like, wait, this looks like, and I think that's my ADHD, like, because growing up, that's how I did. I'd say I did pretty well with relationships, but then horribly other ways. Like, I was so blind to what a good gift was. Like, and part of that was I didn't have good coaching. Like, I mean, I love my dad, but he wasn't really around a lot to be like, hey, son, if you do this, you'll get a girl easy. Like, we didn't do a lot of that, but he taught me a lot of the other important stuff, like how to read a person, how to tell what they're thinking, and like how to anticipate trouble and danger and whatnot. So, anyways, and the idea that everything is, after some time, forgivable. And I have to throw that disclaimer because, and that's also why I got to go delete a couple of posts and figure that out. But still, I got to figure it out. Hmm. I almost think it's divine intervention and being a test. Like, not really, but like the way that we're programmed and designed, whoever, whatever made us, to see what would happen. I really think it's Star Trek. It's going to be a ship that comes back just like Star Trek. They're going to be like, wow, you really screwed up. You weren't patient. You didn't follow what we tried to say. And not because I'm going to get in trouble, but I mean, yeah, I'm going to get in trouble for doing that. That's why I need to fix that too. But also, then it means that we really were supposed to figure it out with the least harm possible. I think that's really powerful right there. The least harm possible. And so I didn't. And but no, and see, that's why I'm torn. So why I keep hemming and hawing is I was going to call the police and actually talk to them instead of putting dude on Front Street on Facebook. That's not good. That's one of the posts I need to delete. But at the same time, like, he got away with it. Like, he got away. And the thing is, oof, and see, this is a test. If it is a test, this is a very difficult test because, like, one, you're not supposed to snitch on anybody. That's just like code for if you break the law, you're not supposed to snitch. But then two, I never really believed in drug laws anyway because I thought they were stupid. And I learned from observing people and just like, wait, they don't seem that messed up. Alcohol seemed the most messed up out of all of it. Like, whew, I've seen some sketchy things. Like, so. And actually, I did think that was kind of funny with like jail and how a lot of people do get caught for stuff is because they record everything in jail. And like you're sitting there talking to a cellie, like, you gotta talk it up to make it sound like, oh yeah, I'm bad, I'm big and bad, like so they can trust you. That's just like sociology 101. Like if people want to fit in, especially in a jail environment, they're gonna start talking tough. So, which I don't know. I tried to be as vague as possible, and I tried to just like broad stroke it because I just assumed that they were recording. I was like, this is the one place they would bug every time. Like, you think that it was like just spies and microfilm back in the day, and they still bugged a lot of people and got like secrets and stuff. So why wouldn't they just do it in jail? That seems like a prime opportunity for a business model to get a lot more people involved and incarcerated, which is actually what's going on with the war on drugs. But now we're figuring out, and I was a little harsh on Lieutenant Governor Dan there. No, I shouldn't mock him because the actual governor of Texas is in a wheelchair, and there was some messed up stuff about that. And that's how quick it can devolve. Is like that's not okay, and we need to fix that. And again, I've seen it, and when I get disgusted with myself and my own party. Is like, you know, things that should be off limits to joke about or to mock have not been PC. And I haven't even seen those South Park episodes, but I imagine that's a lot of it. I imagine Matt Stone and Trey Parker, if anybody, are in contact with the travelers. I mean, that just makes the most sense. But oh, and by the way, I'm going to Casa Bonita. We're going to do that for a work lunch. So I am going to be booking a time soon. It's going to be awesome if I'm allowed to go. I'm just kidding. I did send him a couple slightly potentially unhinged things, but I tried to word it to where like, this might sound crazy. I'm a big fan, blah, 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 and this. And even then, like I read it back like 20 times. It was still kind of iffy. Oh, wait, I've been here before. That's right. Because this is a continuation of another cavern. Because I started throwing torches down. But now I see diamonds down there. Oof. Just be careful because I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's water, but like that might not be water right there. But why wouldn't it be? That's how water usually flows. But then, oh, look at that. That definitely looks like that's not water. Oh, we're gonna go investigate because I gotta go get those diamonds. But like, look at that. I don't think I've ever seen water do that. It is not. It is not water. Look at that. It really wasn't. I could have died if I dropped in there. Oh, that's interesting mechanics. Sneaky, sneaky. Now there's no question. But anyways, I gotta be careful with this. Wait, where were the diamonds? They were like up here. Okay. Gotta be careful because once you hit the water, you can get taken on down. All right. Oh, but anyways, and then back to the phone call. So that was how that was, and that's just like thinking on my feet, seeing like noticing something like, yep, that might be happening, and just understanding that kids are trying to figure things out too. That could have ended really badly, like, ooh, ooh. But once I realized what was going on, I was like, cool, we're just gonna stop right there. Family doesn't do that. And then I was gonna get into a bigger spiel like ages and everything, but I mean, I feel like that's kind of that's part of the bigger mission of trying to like, and that's what I want to get the cats and the recording done. Because then I can start like actually like persistently storing this information and allowing people to just peruse it at their leisure. That's the whole point of the cats, the concerns and thoughts. But and it's security too, like understanding what somebody who did have intentions like that, like how would they try to elicit that behavior from a kid anyway. And I guess the optimistic thing, and I was just telling this to someone else, is like, and the person I learned cyber from taught us a lot about that because that is one of the biggest pressing things. Like when you think security is like, are the kids safe online? Or is a predator going to get at them? And like, and back in the day when I used internet, of course I was like in middle school and high school, so I didn't really think it was all that big of a deal. But thinking back, like if I had been any younger, like the dad me now would be very concerned about like the games I was playing and the people I was talking to. But like I was already a teenager and I was already well trying to do that stuff to other like to women my age, but like or to girls my age, and like and it turns out they'd say, oh, by the way, I'm like a 40-year-old dude, and it's like, cool, whatever, I pictured a lady, bye. And like it didn't matter. But in hindsight, thinking now, we call that cyber too. Anyways, inappropriate, sussy things with strangers. So, and that is a real concern, and that's why you gotta. And then back to that call with my own kiddo and like the neighborhood kids. Like that could have went real south, real bad. In fact, it almost did. Like the one girl, that's exactly what she was trying to do. She was like, "So do you love me, your daughter?" And I was like, "Yes, I love my daughter." And then she was just like, "No," and they're just doing like the silly kid tricks, like stamp, stamp, no eraser, like, "I got you to say it, I got you to say it." But it's also creepy because then, and I was giving him a lecture through it, but I was also trying to like, it's hard to maintain cool and then be a dad, but at the same time. And so like I devolved into describing cybersecurity practices of like, See, now it could be you, could be me, and you don't know who else on this side of the line. You don't know if this is really her dad. And then we asked a couple of verifying questions, which that we had to be kind of careful of. And I explained that too. I was like, we can verify, but at the same time, don't verify anything too personal, because then they could turn around and just do it with someone else. And at the whole time, these kids, their minds are picking that up. Like they're learning. They're like, oh. But basically, and that's why I do that when well, with my own kids. Like that was the first time with the neighborhood kids, and I might want to get ahead of that too and meet the neighborhood parents, which they see me coming and going, and so technically it's my co-parents' neighborhood. Like, but at the end of the day, and this is why I feel completely optimistic. Like the cops are already searching all my stuff. I'm pretty sure. Like I live my life just knowing that that's probably a factor because of my checkered past. Like I just have to accept that they're probably poking around anytime anything happens, thanks to the Patriot Act. Like, and I'm okay with that. And I'm not okay with that. That's not my consent if that's a thing. I don't even know, but I live life like somebody's watching, which is how we were all supposed to live anyway. If you grew up religious, like you're supposed to live as if God is watching, whether it's Allah and you're Muslim, or whether it's um, God and you're Christian, or whether it's or God and you're Jewish, or God and you're Hindu. I think Hindu is still the one supreme. I don't know. I'd have to look that up. But I mean, from what I've learned, even like the polytheistic religions, they tend to have one like alpha god or one main god that like is the god. Even if you think about Greek mythology, Zeus and all that, like there's still Zeus. Um, oh, and the wait, to close that other thread, I intend to help hunt people that are doing that sussy stuff, but at the same time, they need to be fixed and really just the behavior needs to be mitigated. That's like the real concern. I think everybody, um, parents and pedos alike, could agree. Like, no, I'm kidding. They don't get a say in it at this point, but they don't deserve to die either. Like that, we still need at the end of the day to remember that killing is wrong, and it causes PTSD because it is so wrong. I mean, all of the science that we have points to, hey, don't do that. And I was heartbroken over a baby bunny the other week. Like, I mean, I didn't do anything to save. I mean, I did. I made a little nest for it as it was like laying there to die in the cold, and it got bit by something. And that's happened to me before. I saw a mantis, a praying mantis on the sidewalk, and I was walking, and I even thought to myself, I was like, hey, I should probably help that praying mantis across the road so it doesn't die. And I came back and it had been squashed by a bicycle. And so even just on the micro level, like, which is why I'm so thankful that I didn't go to war, because, oh, I would have killed a lot of people. Like, I'm kind of an overachiever. I mean, like, if I'm going to do a job, I'm going to do it right. And I was, if I'm going to be trained to do this, thankfully I wasn't going to be like infantry and on the front lines. I was going to be in well, we won't talk about all that, but front lines is where they would send, oh God, hold on. Oh God. Oh. Sorry, that's my co-parent right there. So that's the thing. That's the thing. All right, Wednesday at, I gotta change this. So I'm gonna put something on my work calendar because my co-parent asked me if I could do something. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, busy. 3 to 5. Edit. 3 to 5. Oops, 500. Okay. Busy. There we go. Let's see. Busy. Still checking Slack. There we go. Okay, so I'm trying to be more descriptive with how I schedule my work stuff, and then also on Wednesday. Oh, and there's my alarm. So let's see. Okay, cool. Anyways, I'll finish that thought, and then I actually got to do some chores. I got to do some dishes. I'm still going through all my old stuff, and I need to pull weeds on top of. I need to figure out the landlord situation, kid gloves, because I found out. Oh yeah, an update on that. I found out it's really not that hard to do small claims court. It's not that expensive. Like, and I also get free, well, not free, but very cheap legal help through CSU as an alumni. So, granted, I have a massive debt because of my spazzy self signing up for classes without okaying it with an advisor. They fixed that, by the way. I'm the reason for that rule. I'm one of the many people. I took a bunch of bogus classes that didn't fit my major. Not bogus. I mean, I did physics for non-engineering majors, and I didn't realize there was a distinction. And even in that, that's kind of messed up. But just like I was saying, JTC classes were normally like tech classes for non-tech majors. So it was like just enough level of tech know-how before people that weren't comfortable spending hours and hours with technology would just start roll their eyes over and be like, "No, I can't do this." And that's why certain people are just designed differently. But a lot of people that are on some kind of spectrum or ADHD or uh, in fact, I just started following this really, and I hate that because I'm already a creeper because she looks super cute and she wears this like a green eyeliner and she has green hair and like it looks totally like what I would envision. But, and I don't even know, she looks my age. She acts at least out of high school. She talks about living independently, all that, but again, even that, because if she is, and that's why I need to not judge so harshly too. And that's why I was saying earlier, like I said, hey, you're defending a pedo when I was talking about President Trump. And I didn't mean it like that because that instantly makes people think that it's a little kid, right? Like, I mean, like a toddler or something really heinous. But really, what I was referring to is like, look how he was creepy with his own beauty pageants. He would go in and see the girls change. Now, so here's the thing. That's both kind of a testament to where, like, did he do it often enough to where somebody would report it? No. Did he do it enough to be concerned? Yes, he did. He walked in there when girls are changing. And it's like, maybe in his mind it made sense because he's a dad, he had a daughter in this, so whatever, he treats them just like that. When like people coming into the conversation being like, wait, what did he do? That could be really bad. But and that again, that's why I had to finish that story earlier because anybody watching this video would be like, oh, pff, we got to go check his hard drive and stuff. Which again, I'm pretty sure they already do. But like, like I'm not even kidding. Like I actually was looking at my computer and I need to clean it out, so I'm gonna wipe it and start over. But I was like, I think somebody's here parked watching and stuff, and like all the stuff on my computer is like, yeah. So everyone is of age. Actually, I don't even keep stuff on my computer. Like, who does anymore? You've got the internet now. Like, sorry, I was just thinking about that. Probably TMI, but anyways, I will see you in the next one, and we will continue this random rant on. Well, that's I need to get the cats. Maybe I'll do that tonight, but because then I can actually like document this. You don't have to sit through all of these episodes. I mean, yeah, it's entertaining sometimes, but like if you're trying to get to the good parts, hopefully people will do shorts and be like that, but not the bad ones, like talking about all the messed up stuff without the context that I further explain it in the same episode. Whew, people could just take everything out of context and make you look really bad. So, and that's what I got to reverse. Even my own TDS. I hate that people say that, but Trump derangement syndrome is real, but it's not just Trump, it's everybody. Biden derangement syndrome, whatever, like, it's just the way that our communication has gone so wayward that everybody is potentially a perpetrator of this type of mistake, myself very much included. That's why I need to go scrub, delete a couple things, say, I said that out of anger, but here's my point, and hence the cats. That's just it. I just need to do the cats. All right, ta-ta for now. I'm going to do some dishes. I'm going to fiddle with my computer, which, I mean, that, like I said, I was going to nuke it because, like, it's just got so much crud on it. I think it's virtual machines that I downloaded multiple times, and I've gone through and searched and, like, doing IT when you do it all day, it's not the first thing I want to do when I'm home. And yeah, my security, like, it's good, but there are some holes that I'm aware of. But again, like, I figured if anything, the first thing they would do, I don't know. And maybe that's all fake. Maybe I was just like, huh, okay. But, and I know I gave Google permission once upon a time when I was going through that mental breakdown. I was like, when I was emailing myself and talking into all that, like, but even that, if they didn't see it in the first place, probably never even, yeah, that's probably interesting. But the internet's forever. And once it's out there, it's out there. these Chinese and American supercomputers are probably processing and storing all the stuff. So, anyways, ta ta for now. I'll see you in the next one.